I'm about to leave out, but I need to record this message before I do. This is another part of the the message that I just recently uploaded. The first one was a little long. Hopefully, the intended crowd watches and sees it whenever they need to see it. So, speaking on the distraction of or the creation of seeds. Okay, so the spells that they spoke over us in this realm, they were meant to keep us blinded, disconnected, and make sure we don't remember our true selves. Those were the original seeds, and then the seeds that the seeds of those seeds, and so on and so forth. Okay, because it did not just start with slavery. Okay, no. But that's what they'll tell us. Anyways, don't get distracted, Diana. Okay, now, um, the children of those seeds of the seeds, a lot of those people end up having multiple kids, and a lot of those kids were nothing more than actual created distractions. Those kids were not created by the parents, they were actually created through spells put on them in the environments that those parents were in. Follow along. Those parents created them out of whatever moment of emotion. It may have been love or uh, um, the desire to want a family or whatever it is, because they were the seeds of the original seeds that were mating with other people, other not other seeds, but other created beings, because they're not the actual direct seeds of the original seeds, but it's not like they're fake. You know what I mean? Not like they don't exist or never existed type shit. So they mated with these, I'm just going to say unpure entities, and created this thing out of the manifestation of that seed of the seed. Because that seed did not remember the power that they possess in being able to manifest anything and everything that they wanted, they manifested it through their child. So this person may have, through this time that they were in, through the spell spoken on them and the moment of the energy of the moment that they were directly in when conceiving that child, that child came out to be exactly what they were desiring at that moment, because that's what they manifested. So that child may have been grown up to be a amazing athlete, or a talk show host or billionaire in some way, created something, became some type of contribution to this society, Earth's society, okay? And that child was actually created by the spells, not by the seeds of the seed, not by those two people, okay? Because those spells were putting certain music out and had them in design specificality of environments. They became or developed and manifested these children, okay, that had these specific things that were able to do these things in this community. So for instance, I feel like, and this is just okay, just my opinion, but what's that football player that has this the TV show? I don't trust any interviewer, any person that seeks to make a career or a living out of interviewing people. Do you know the process? What interviewing actually is? You're actually just probing someone for information, and you're never probing them. If you pay attention to interviewers, they are never asking or probing for information about your growth or how you did something on this project. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, they may talk about a certain project that you're doing at the moment, but throughout this whole 30, 40 hour minute conversation or probing, they are asking you things that are a lot controversial and things that will get you to dig yourself in a hole in some form. Okay, so I watched this interview with, it's a guy, what's his name, Charlie Rose. Oh no, he is definitely one of those seeds of the original Neanderthals that the entity that stole the original seeds. Okay, he is one of those pieces of that person, or you know what I mean, seeds of that person. My apology. When you watch his interviews, especially with the latest one, the one that comes off the top of my head is with Spike Lee. Okay, he asks questions, and you can see his, you know, true intentions through what he's asking. People who interview are have that specific desire for a reason. They are probing and looking for something within you to get you to either expose yourself or to distract you from what it is you are already doing, or to get other people to bring other people's attention to you, onto you. I mean, to see that they, you know, boom, need to attack you. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, so what's his name? Club Shay Shay. I don't know what's his real name. Shannon Sharpe, I believe. Shannon Sharpe. But yes, I've watched a few of his interviews, and when you watch his interviews, he's not usually asking good questions. I feel like he is a strong example of one of those seeds that weren't created. They were only created for distractions. Okay, they may do good for their family and become what that parent manifested, because in that time that they manifested this child, it was like they were in a moment of whatever type of dire crisis, and they wanted, they just wished they had better, and then it came in the form of this child, and that child gave them that freedom that they were looking for through that skill that they had, through playing football, basketball, whatever it may be. And then that child goes on to do their true calling, which was, boom, outside of that, they did what the seed manifested them to do, and then they went on to do what they were actually created to do, which was to distract and destroy. I'm not saying that he is specifically destroying people, but I feel like he is a distraction, because he, just when you pay attention to the questions that he asks people, it's just like, bro, what is the intention of this conversation? Like, you want to keep getting to the negative stuff, and oh, so you were, you know, what about this beef, and what about that beef, and what made you do this, and then he, you know what I mean, then when somebody switched the table on him, it's all, you know. Anyways, so that is a good way to be able to spot those people. Interviewers, certain jobs that these people have, it is for a specific reason. They were designed to have these jobs because they were designed to be distractions. Okay, not everybody is created equal. That is very true. Okay, some people were created to, like I said, the seeds of those original seeds, and they were created to lead, protect, provide, balance, love, things of that nature. But then, like I said, we're in this world, and they know what our powers are. They know what they stole, you know. So they also know how to distract us in each way, and each of us are going to be attacked and put in different environments, and even within the families that we have. A lot of us seeds of the original seeds grew up in environments where the family, like, we stayed positive despite the negativity that we endured within our first circle, which was that household, that family, your brothers and sisters, and you usually had more sisters than brothers. Why? Because the feminine energy is more influential. Okay, the masculine energy is more dominating and can be more powerful, but that feminine energy is a lot more influential, and the things that they do or the pains that they inflict stay a lot longer on the mind. That's why the mothers are usually the ones left in the household to raise the children, and they are the ones that are being attacked. They're the ones that are having to balance being the mom, the protector, the provider, the teacher, the preacher, the counselor, and still have to hold themselves up. That is a very hard thing to do. And to maintain your sanity and still give yourself to these seeds that you have in a proper way to ensure that they grow up as strong as they need to be for this world that is going to attack them as well. So that's why mothers were left, because they knew that these seeds of the original seeds, a majority of those seeds were feminine energy seeds. Okay, and that's why they had to find a way to distract and destroy, separate, and keep us separate from each other and our memory. Right? Okay, now that's all I'm gonna say. Gotta go.